I was doing mostly just single tooth dentistry, and I would just kind of panic and I would just say, okay, there's a lot going on, let's get you back. When you go back to work, you know that you can do it and that you can get it done in a reasonable time frame. Okay, so my name is Leonora and I'm a dentist in Hervey Bay. I was kind of at the stage where I was doing mostly just single tooth dentistry, a little bit of quadrant dentistry, but nothing really complex. I spent the first year in the UK being really unconsciously incompetent, which is pretty common for new graduates. And then probably still when I came to Australia, I was the same, and I did that classic thing where I learned Botox and fillers and did Invisalign, which is really common. Probably about 2.5, 3 years ago that I thought, okay, I'm kind of stuck now and I know what I'd like to be able to do, but I don't know how to do it. And the things that really stressed me out was when I would have a patient come in and it's like almost every tooth is affected and there's so much going on, and I would just kind of panic and I would just say, okay, there's a lot going on, let's get you back, and so I could buy myself some time. I mean, I still do that now, but at least now I feel like I have a protocol that I follow and I know what to do with those kind of patients, which here is very frequent. I wanted to invest in a big course that I knew was going to give me loads of hands-on training and actually give me the confidence to go straight back to work and apply the things that I'd learned straight away. I did do another restorative course actually that was just a small weekend course, and because you only get a very limited amount of hands-on if you're only there for a couple of days, I definitely felt like I wasn't confident enough to tackle the cases having just had a quick go on a model on a table, for example, which is really common of small, short restorative courses. Being such a comprehensive course that took you all the way from simple single posterior tooth dentistry all the way up to full mouth rehab, I just thought, well, that has everything I could need in one restorative course over a long period of time with such a huge hands-on component. It just makes sense to me that that's really good. You get a lot of skills for your investment. I didn't want to just do tiny courses, and they're still, you're still spending a decent amount of money on them, but I knew that yes, it's a large investment financially, but the rewards that you reap are so huge, and because it meant that I could then take on bigger and more complex cases, it pays for itself. I was able to see so much more from my x-rays, and I was able to see so much more in my exam that I could pick out the cases where I thought, okay, this is a really simple filling and I know I can do this in 50 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is. Or I go, okay, I can see already from the x-ray that this is going to be a really difficult class 2 filling and I'm going to need a lot longer compared to something really simple because it's really deep and they've got gum disease or whatever it is. So it's made me much more efficient with my time, but it's very rare that I run late now because I'm quite good at booking an appropriate length of time. And I mean, dentistry is still very stressful, but at least I can control that quite well, and it's a great way to make patients unhappy by running half an hour late or 40 minutes late, and that makes you as a dentist really, really stressed as well, and that's not fun for anybody. So that's a huge difference for me. The hands-on component's my favorite part. It's really good because it's not like any other hands-on course I've done, specifically because it's purposefully done under time stress. So you don't have 3 hours to do one single occlusal composite. You have 2 hours to maybe do a full quadrant of back-to-back class 2s, which is much more like what you would experience day to day as a general dentist. And that is one of the most difficult things to do in dentistry, back-to-back class 2s. So being forced to do that under a realistic time pressure just means that if you can, once you've done it on the mannequin head, when you go back to work, you know that you can do it and that you can get it done in a reasonable time frame, that it's going to be comfortable for a patient. You're not going to be spending 5 hours doing it, and you're going to be able to not only do it efficiently, but do it to a really high quality as well. I mean, I really love the lectures, and when everybody's together and joining in and contributing, and it's just such a friendly encouraging community to be a part of. And it's so reassuring to know that I can post a case. I can post a case that didn't go well. I can post a case where I think, oh, this really didn't go to plan, and not have to worry that people are going to judge me or say, oh, you did a terrible job or anything like that. I know that they're going to come at it with, just being really reassuring and say, oh, hey, that must have been really tough. Next time have a think about doing A, B, and C or whatever it is like that. So it's just such a safe space to learn and improve. And I think the more you put into it, the more you get out. So the more cases you share, the more photos you take, the more you will learn. And there is always somebody available, be that other people in your cohort or the educators, ready there and then to reply to you, to give you help. I would say that you will just do it, you won't regret it, and take it with both hands and put in everything you have, because the more you put in, the more you get out. And it's incredible to see everybody's progress in actually what is such a short space of time, going from simple single tooth posterior dentistry to rehab, if that's what you want to do. And it's so wonderful to see. You can see everybody else's improvements through all of their case presentations and how they have changed so much from the beginning to 2 years later. It's just really, really rewarding.